It's time for Saturday Hockey Talk. Let's talk about the rebuild or anything else you'd like to talk about in the hockey world. Hey, everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. So it's Saturday. We got Saturday Hockey Talk. We got an exciting time here for Montreal with the rebuild, whatever it is, going on. An exciting game against the St. Louis Blues on, what day was that? Thursday. Was it Thursday? It was Thursday, yeah. And there's a game tomorrow. We're in a road game, first one in a little while, I think, on the island in New York. We'll get the first look at the Hamburglar in net tomorrow. So we got all that. So we can talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. And that's all right here at Talking Habs. Let's see who's here. The Dreamwalker. No more KK. You're like many months past that. Daryl Adams. Rick heard a lot of sites on YouTube saying Habs and Rangers are trying to make a deal, sending Sherratt to Rangers. Another player who you think Habs would get from Rangers. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the rumors Lafreniere, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Gorton knows that team pretty well and knows the prospects quite well since he drafted most of them, if not all. Yeah, maybe Kravtsov and a draft pick. If it's Sherratt's going to get a first rounder and somebody else. Habs Guru, how are you doing? I just realized, I don't know why I just realized that, but I'm losing to you in the fantasy. It's you that I'm losing to this week. Am I right? The first place guy that's not going to get caught at any point. My hot take for the fantasy pool is, as Habs Guru, if that's you, because it says Darren there, you're gonna win. You're gonna win the fantasy. I don't see anybody catching you. Since I'm in second, and I don't think I'm going to catch you. Well, I'm not. I'm technically not in second. Harry is because he's in a different division. But points wise, I'm in second right now. But you're going to probably screw that up this week because you're kicking my ass. But it's you that I'm losing to, right? Okay, so you've been on a roll for a month, more than that. Now I'm telling you, my prediction is you're not gonna lose. You're gonna win the fantasy, unless you listen. Injuries could happen. I mean, other than that, I don't see it. Yeah, you're kicking my ass, and you're probably gonna make me drop down to third, or fourth. I'm in third now. Anyway, whatever. Hey, Bob Cannon, how's it going? I had a good last. Not last week because I lost on Sunday. I was like kicking ass, and then on Sunday, a guy beat me 9-7. So, but yeah, a couple of weeks there, 2-3 weeks, I had some good weeks. Yeah, I jumped from, I think I was 7th, right up to third, as Hockey Junkie says. Hockey fan guy, how's it going? So, what do you want to talk about? The rebuild's kind of on this. I kept from my video today. And I'll show this. This is from Jeff Gorton talking to Eric Engels in an interview they did the other day. Oh, you know what I realized? I forgot to put that thing in a link. Oh, well, I can't help that. I forgot to put the link to that article in the video. So I pulled this from the video, and I think it kind of tells you what's going to happen, what their plans are. I won't read the whole thing. But he says here they're not intending to strip the roster down to the screws. So they're not trading everybody away right now, obviously. They've got good players here that haven't been performing for other reasons, injuries, COVID. There's a lot of reasons. And he says their value is probably a little lower than it usually is to trade everybody at a lesser value than they really are, even though they have some term left. I don't think we'll do that. Right, so he's saying they're waiting for the right offers. They want to build back the value of the players, and he's not saying it's not a rebuild. He's not saying it is a rebuild. But for me, the way I hear them talking, it's a rebuild, but they want to get the players' value back up. So you're not going to see as much movement maybe as a lot of people are expecting. I wasn't. But you're not going to maybe not see as much movement as you might have been expecting right away, right? It'll happen over time as the players get the value back. And it was a point I made when they fired Ducharme, was that he was hurting their value, the players' value. And that was one of the reasons they were firing him, because of that. And I think it's proven out in what he said there. So I think that's kind of interesting. I mean, don't you guys? Let's see now. Robadario, hey, you didn't send me your address yet, buddy. You got to send me the address at talkinghabs@gmx.com, and so I can send you the hat. I don't even know where I am. I heard Hughes had a meeting with Molson and the benefactors today. Yeah, I didn't hear that. So enlighten us. Did you hear any news from that meeting? The benefactors, you mean Molson's minor partners? Because Molson's the controlling partner. So, but he's not 100% owner of the Canadiens. So there are other. I guess that's what you mean by the benefactors. No game on a Saturday. What is this? Well, there's an. I don't know the answer exactly, but there's a 2 p.m. game tomorrow afternoon, and then there is a Monday game, 7 p.m. back home in Montreal against the Leafs. So I would think it is scheduling for the teams because this is the rescheduled part of the these games. They're not getting back to the regular portion of the season till the end, like the last 2 days of February, right? So we're still in the rescheduled part, and that's probably all it is. But although, listen, I want to say there's usually about 2 Saturdays during every season where Montreal doesn't play on Saturday, at least 2. So, I mean, this is just one of those. Hockey fan guy, no. David Savard's got 3 seasons left after this year, and if you buy him out, that means now you're paying him for 6 years. Albeit it's smaller amounts the last 3, but you double the amount of years. From what's left on the contract, and the cap hit, the penalty, it's going to be too high. No, you can't buy him out. I mean, listen, if that's the case, you do what they did with Alzner. You waive him. If no one fucking takes him, you put him in Laval. You get a little bit of cap relief that way, and it's less than the hit you're going to take by buying him out too early. 3 years is too long for me. I don't think they're going to do it. If they end up with all the moves that might happen where they've got a ton of cap room, then maybe that might be different, right? But I don't know. Let's see. He was trying to make deals with Carolina. They wanted Suzuki and Caulfield, but he knew Suzuki was untouchable. Who's that now again? Hughes. You mean you're talking about the Canadiens Hughes wanted to make trades with Carolina? Surprised. Suzuki's untouchable, so is Cole now. Cole now, listen, if you trade Cole now, just putting him with St. Louis, and you trade him now, it's ridiculous. They wanted Suzuki. What you just said? Did I just read that again? They wanted Suzuki and Caulfield, but he knew. Okay, you redid that. When they explained what happened with Carolina, he said it did not affect him as he was not here at the time. Well, I mean, that part's true. Although Carolina are still dicks about everything, so I wouldn't even talk to them if they phoned. They straightened him out, and one benefactor wants Hughes gone. This benefactor puts enough money into the team to take care of 13.5% of the salary cap. Hughes is not going over something like that. I mean, come on. They just hired a guy. He signed a 5-year deal. They're not going to pay Hughes for 5 years and bring in another GM. Listen, Jeff Molson's got money, but I mean, he's not stupid either. That's a dumb thing. I mean, he's not going to do that. Kelly. Oh, what did you buy for me? Anything? I know. Hey, Petty, how's it going? You know what? If we took all the Pitlick, let's get all the Suzuki's. Oh, I take Ryan Suzuki. Why not? But remember about the Pitlicks. First of all, Rem Pitlick, I like what I see. He's going to be here, I think, next year. Rhett Pitlick, his brother, still a prospect. We don't know. And the Tyler Pitlick, he's 30. He's a cousin. He was thrown into the deal, I imagine, because we have the other two, but also he's a UFA at the end of the season. So he's a depth player at most. So maybe they sign him. I mean, maybe for a couple of seasons to be here during the rebuild. I don't know, depending on what kind of a rebuild they do, right? It sounds like, from what Gordon said, that no, probably Pitlick's going to walk at the end. Maybe they'll get a draft pick for him at the deadline. I don't expect much from that one. So, but as far as getting Ryan Suzuki, I haven't really followed his career since he was drafted, but I liked him in his draft year, which was the same year as Caulfield. But I mean, I would take Caulfield over him anytime. But hey, you know, but then you got to deal with the Canes, and I don't want to deal with them. Bob Cannon. Boom. I should have a cannon go off every time I mention your name. Not many people, media, have talked about the intangible factor of the team playing over their heads for Weber last year. In that, I mean that the players kind of knew Weber was hurt and likely done. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's in there. Listen, it's not the same team as that made that run. That team was built for the playoffs, and they proved it. There was a lot of the other stuff, sure, too, I guess. But who says that? Not every team that or who says that? How do I want to put this? I'm sure every team that makes it that far in the playoffs, they've got a story similar like that or whatever, motivational kind of like that, right? So. But that team was built for the playoffs, and they proved it, if you ask me. So I think that's a lot of the success. I don't know that I don't know how much success, knowing what we know about how Dom did this year. How much success did he have, or did he ride the coattails kind of the team success? I don't know if I'm getting that across right, but I kind of wonder if Dom just didn't ride a veteran team that knew how to play, that knew how do I want to put it? How to not govern themselves, but you know what I mean? And playing for the captain. I mean, that's probably what happened there. A lot of what it is. But how did he not know about what happened? I also agree Hughes is going nowhere. How did he not know about what happened? He was a player agent, not dealing with any of that. He may not have known any of that. I think that's possible that he might have known it in passing, but it never really stuck in his head. Why not? I don't see anything. I wouldn't call him out on that. Bob, I got to think there's some to that, right? I mean, they definitely played hard for Carey to get a Stanley Cup, and for Weber. And whether they knew that they knew he was in rough shape. I imagine they had to know he was in sort of rough shape, right? So, yeah, I mean, why not? I'm going to buy in on that. Where am I? Oh, there I am. I think it was the players knowing Weber might not play again. Well, see, now, apparently Weber's own wife, didn't really know how bad off he was. So I'm not buying into that all the players knew it. I would think like someone like Price, who was really close with Weber, maybe a few guys, maybe Galley, the leadership group. I don't know that everybody knew all this. I'm going to say probably not, and maybe just a few knew. So, I don't know. Do I think the Habs will sign Harris? I kind of do. I think that it might kind of go down to the wire. Like when the NCAA season is over, they can sign him and he can play. So I think it might go right down to then, but I do think there's so much connection between Harris and the management group here and the coach and everything. There's connections there, good solid ones too. And I think that they'll go a long way to getting Harris signed. If he doesn't, I mean, then there was just no way he was going to, Apparently, well, if Hughes said he's confident that he will, does that mean anything? I mean, he doesn't want to say, I guess, that, oh, geez, I don't know. He doesn't want to sound like that. So maybe there's nothing, but I mean, I'm going to believe him. Remember now, Hughes is here. He's just here. It's new. I'm not going to start thinking the guy's a liar and I shouldn't trust him until such time as he gives me reason to believe that or to think that. I have no reason right now. I'm going to trust the guy who says what he means, what he says. Filibuster in the room. And hey, Moonlight, how's it going? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Most people never tell how seriously they are hurt. That is 100% true, as they do not want to look wimpy. And I think the guy had a high pain threshold, and he's one of those guys that, he's going to play through the pain. I'm not saying I played some senior hockey, like nothing really, but I hurt my shoulders. But we played only once a week. And so during the week, I'd sort of heal up enough to play. And then I'd play. And by the end of the game, I'd be in a lot of pain. But I still went out and played. And it was for nothing. I mean, it was just old timers hockey. So, yeah, I mean, he's the kind of guy that would have done that. So I would think some people knew. Carey Price says he knew how bad he was. I think Carey Price said that. But not everybody. I can't see that. Sheneman got COVID now. Yes, Dixon, I announced that in my video. Sheneman is on the COVID list. So it looks like Sherratt will play tomorrow. That's what they're saying. Sherratt will play tomorrow, which I know a lot of people were hoping they'd trade him before. So unless they do that between now and tomorrow, Sherratt's going to be in the lineup tomorrow. Or they find somebody they can call up, because I don't know what their situation is with contracts or with money or with availability of a defenseman. I don't know. Like I said in previous videos here, a ton of issues have conspired against the Habs this season. Now, I don't know why I'm wearing these. I don't need, I hear myself, I can hear myself like this. I don't know why I'm wearing, I'm doing a solo like this. I don't need to wear those. It's cool though. I feel like I'm in the studio. Also, if I move off microphone, I can hear it, but it doesn't matter. Like I said in previous videos here, a ton of issues have conspired against the Habs this season. Yep. Long-term injuries, COVID outbreaks, players moving, and overall poor drafts, rushing kids and GM fired. Lots of stuff. Rushing kids into NHL like Cole, Primo, Paling, maybe even Romanov too. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say on Primo. I think that's obvious. I'll say Romanov playing great. I think Romanov definitely is already an NHLer. I don't think you have to. I wouldn't question it. Say that he was rushed because he looks great. Paling, they sent him back. They sent him back. They brought him back. I mean, till he was ready. I think he's ready, and I think I like what I see from Paling. Cole Caulfield, with the hiring of Marty St. Louis, I don't think you're sending Cole to Laval now. Marty St. Louis is the perfect coach for him. He'll develop here under Cole. I think in my video where I said, has he arrived? I think that's more what I meant. I didn't mean, has he arrived and he's going to light it up? I mean, I don't know if he's going to be as consistent as in the last 4 games or not. He's arrived as in, I don't think he's going back to Laval. He's going to develop here under Marty St. Louis. So, yeah, so I'm going to say that, Bob. So I don't know if it's rushing them. Cole, they did rush, and then how it worked out, he's going to stay. And I think deservedly so. But Paling, I mean, they did bring him up and down until he was ready. I don't know that that's rushing a kid. And Romanov, come on, Romanov. Anyway, do you know when a coach gets fired and he still is owed money? If he gets hired to another team, does he still get paid from old contract plus new contract? I do believe so, because it's not alimony, right? Alimony, when you get divorced, yeah, that you get remarried. Yeah, your new husband or wife, whatever, is paying, but it's not the same. This is a contract, so the contract has to be fulfilled. They fired him, they still have to pay him. So yeah, it's kind of like buying out somebody, right? They buy out a player, he goes and signs another contract. It's whatever he gets, he can get. There's no stipulations. I played well last. I played well past I should have, as did not want to admit to myself how bad I was hurt. Well, but that's what that's what happens. A lot of people do that, right? Hey, listen, you know what? I'll take myself, right? So I have these two injured knees. And they weren't badly injured. They weren't. I thought they were actually healing up and I was doing well. So what did I do? I went shopping. My son was out, because my son usually helps me up, actually takes the stuff, and I don't have to carry anything up. But he wasn't home. So not a ton of stuff, but I took stuff up in this hand and in this hand and couldn't hold on. And should I have done that? I should have left some downstairs and gone up and made 2 trips. Did I do that? No. What happened? I didn't admit to myself that I'm still too injured to do that. I went I'm doing really good. I can do this. And then I hurt my right side worse. Now it's not going to heal on its own, more than likely, and I'm going to need an operation where I probably wouldn't have. So yes, even I do that. The great me, not great, but yeah, people do that. Okay, now this is really I have to actually scroll. This is the first time in a while. I actually didn't. Can't send him to Laval now. It's too late for that. He and the other kids should never have been included in this lost season to begin with. Yeah, but that's 2020. That's hindsight is 2020. But now I think they've fixed that, and I think Caulfield's going to be just fine here now. But I agree with you. I was calling for Caulfield to go back for the rest of the season. Yes, but no, not anymore. Cole, in my opinion, has been NHL ready since last season. I don't think he was rushed. I just think Ducharme played him poorly and didn't use his skills. You know what? I think there's a big part of that was what was going on with Cole. I really do. But I don't know that I would say that he was fully ready either. I'm still going to say I don't know that he's fully ready, but he's not going to go to another coach now and develop there. I don't see that. Unless he totally craps the bed again, even under Marty, then I don't see him going back down. And I've said my hot take, Marty St. Louis is not an interim coach. Yes, he's coaching as an interim coach right now. He will be the full-time coach for, I suspect, many years. I don't know how many exactly, but I think Marty St. Louis will become a great coach. I think he has the right makeup, everything, his attitude, everything that he does. I like what I hear. I think you see success right away from a guy like that, and you know that it's going to get better. So that's my hot take. Could I be wrong? I mean, I doubt it. He's one of those guys that you bet on. You don't bet against. And I said it when they hired him. I'm going to bet on Marty St. Louis. And I, wasn't disappointed because when he took 4 games to win, but I like what I've seen from the first game. So. Hockey Fan Guy, I think we're going to find out now in these how many games are left in the season. By the end of this season, we're going to find out if Cole Caulfield is. We're gonna find out if he's the real deal. I think he is. He's been successful at every level he's ever played. He's a lot like Marty St. Louis, right? He's been small all his life, always looked at as, he's not, always having to prove himself. Nothing new here. And now he's got a coach who understands him completely. So, yeah, I think that it couldn't be better for Caulfield. This is the best thing that could have happened for Cole Caulfield and the Habs, but I mean for Cole Caulfield in particular. And I'm sure it's a lot of what went into the decision to hire Marty. Not the only thing, but a lot of it, right? That, it works for so many things as long as Marty works out. Do you think they give Cole 26 when Petrie is gone? No, because I think I heard Marty say that, and he was talking about how. So he said Cole will make younger kids that are coming along that are like him, smaller or whatever. They'll want to wear the number 22 because of Cole. I think if he would have thought that Cole would take 26, I think he might have said that. I don't know. Maybe not because Petrie's still here, but no, I think Cole will keep 22. That's what I think. They might have a clause that if you get signed by another team, your contract with them ends. Now I'm lost. I have no idea what you're talking about. Wouldn't that be? Yeah, Veva, I'm not sure why you're saying that. I don't see anything else that works like that. But I mean, yeah, if you have a contract with a team and you sign with another team, one of those contracts ain't good anymore. I mean, I don't know where you get that from though. Maybe I should stop saying Why is Cole playing on the fourth line? He's not. He's playing on the first line with Suzuki and Anderson. So, no, I disagree with that. He did play him on the fourth line the first two games. The last two games, he's been on the first line and getting big minutes and big ice. And no, I disagree. So he's getting that confidence here. He's going to develop here. So that's not a good argument at this point, is that he is playing. Yeah, he's getting that proper look. I'm going to just turn this off for a sec so I can cough. Eric. Looking forward to what Habs can get from a desperate playoff team. Oh, you were talking about the deadline. Yeah. Well, not just Sherrod. I think there will be. First of all, we got guys. I mean, lesser. There's not a lot of big free agents. So yeah. So for Sherrod, but I mean, I think some of the guys that have, well, Lehkonen doesn't have term. He's an RFA. I think Lehkonen, Sherrod. There are guys that are going to move. And listen, so just hang on, everybody. I'm going to bring this up. This was in my video today. I don't think everybody saw my video. So this is from Spectre's Hockey. It's a site out there. Apparently, Pierre LeBrun was on the local station here, TSN 690. And this is something he had to say on Wednesday. So he was there, like I said. So LeBrun says that the Canadiens have a list of players they wish to move and a list of those they want to keep. He says he believes Brendan Gallagher and Josh Anderson are on the do not move list because a team needs competitive players, even when undergoing a rebuild. Mike Hoffman, Jonathan Drouin. Hang on. Yeah, I hear people screaming, yeah, yay, yeah. Okay, Jonathan Drouin. Christian Dvorak, who I'm surprised. I've said I think they'll keep him, and Arturi Lehkonen are on the would like to move list, but that doesn't automatically mean they'll be traded. I think that's really freaking interesting. So now LeBrun doesn't always get it right, but I like Pierre LeBrun. I think usually when he says something, at least he believes that that's a possibility, or he was told this. It doesn't mean it always works out. So that's interesting, and I think it makes sense. We've talked about Anderson. I think everybody thinks Anderson will stay, so that's not a surprise for anybody. and there's nothing for me to say. Well, I said Anderson. I think everybody said, yeah, Anderson should stay. Gallagher, who I said maybe not. I don't know. I was on the fence with it. I thought they'd move him, but I thought maybe not. It looks like maybe not. So maybe Gally gets captaincy, and then in 2-3 years, when Suzuki's ready for it, they trade Gally. Suzuki gets it. I could see something like that happening. So that's interesting. And then on the trying to trade, so the answer is, will Jonathan Drouin be attempted? Will they try to trade him? And it looks like they will. So that's kind of, at least they're going to try. I thought Dvorak might get a better chance, but maybe not. We'll see what they can get, and we'll see if that's accurate or not. So I thought it was interesting. Moonlight, yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with you, because look at the difference with St. Louis. I mean, obviously Dom wasn't. Cole had a goal and 7 assists for 8 points under Dom in 30 games, and under Marty in 4 games, he's got 4 goals already. So, and 5 if you look at it and say, well, that offside one, he still scored it, right? So that happened, but it didn't count. So, but he's got, he's starting to pick up the pace real quick under Marty. So there's got to be a difference in coaching. And we know the philosophy difference is the system versus concepts, right? Dom with his system that was difficult to understand, and Marty with concepts and then letting them be free to create and do the things they're good at. And I think that's what's working. I don't know what Aldo's. I gotta watch. Do I have any mods here besides me? Maybe not. I gotta keep an eye on Aldo. Quality boy. PK Subban is UFA. What do you think? I say no. I agree with you. No. PK Subban. Like, what's the value in it, really? I still haven't done the video because I got sidetracked with so many other things. I'm probably going to get to it, but I mean, what's the value in it, right? I don't see the value in it. Especially, I don't expect PK Subban to sign a contract with Montreal at a price I would say, okay, if he signs at that, I'd say yes. I don't expect him to do that. So, no. Babe, you're talking about coaches? Let me go back to what you said. I don't believe so, though. No, I don't believe that's. I mean, they might. I maybe, but I don't believe so. Bob, yes, I explained that he was on for 2 games and then 2 on the first line. What do I think a fair trade return on Petrie is given the circumstances? I say the longer they take to trade Petrie and he starts to come out of his funk and his value goes up, why not a first and a prospect or something of value? Maybe not a first, but I mean, I can see them getting a first and a minor prospect for Petrie from the right team. But you got to get his value back up, right? And he had a good game against St. Louis, right? He still made a couple of mistakes, but overall, good game. And if that continues, then makes it easier. Yeah, I think maybe it was 22 Hockey Fan Guy. I remember he had a different number. I don't remember what the number was. So maybe you're right. Maybe I don't remember. When coaches get fired and resign with another team, they may have a clause that the contract with them ends. No, when they get fired, no. I mean, Julian was getting fired, got fired, and he was getting paid. He's getting paid right till the end of this season. So now he didn't get signed by another team. Technically, he's working for the Canadian national team, so that's another team. He's still getting paid. No, it doesn't work that way. What coach would want to sign that? It's real house. Ça va bien, toi, là? Say it ain't so. Lucky, I'll miss him, Drouin, though. Bye-bye. Oh, you're talking about what I was saying because did Likey get traded? I didn't hear. Yeah, well, that's why I said I think I can hear everybody screaming. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Doesn't mean they can trade him. They'd like to, but doesn't mean they can. Bob says, I don't see a scenario where PK returns to Montreal unless he wants to retire as a Hab on a one-day deal. Or I say maybe sign like 2 years at $1 million and a half. Maybe that might be low enough that you can say, okay, we could sign him. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, he's kind of too old for a rebuilding team. He is. Unless you got rid of all your experience back there, you might bring in Subban to teach them how to slew foot or move the puck. I mean, he's still a puck-moving defenseman. Well, Bob, his contract's over at the end, so he's a free agent starting next season. So, but at $9 million, no, that's a cross. And making a cross doesn't look like it for a vampire, So you don't think I'm nuts? Thrill House, nope, that's not for me. Hang on, let me scroll. Hockey Fan Guy, I think Price is on the do not move list because he doesn't want to leave Montreal or waive his no movement clause. Well, just having a no movement clause, makes him on the don't move list. They can't move him. So this is neither here nor there. He can't be on either list really because they can't move him. Subban's only 30, yep, but with the decline he's had, like I'm not paying him anything over. And I say this like I don't think I'd go past 2. I might go at 2, I might not, but I wouldn't go past. Beba, yeah, I think I don't know that he's completely shut down. He's working in the gym. He's shut down from the ice right now, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't think he plays this year. And I think even in his own mind, he's not sure that he plays again 100%, right? This is a kind of injury. Oh, I almost put that in my eye. This is a kind of injury that could end his career. It did for Ben Bishop. They both have Ben Bishop was a meniscus in his knee, his meniscus. That's where it is, and it's the same thing for Price. Was a meniscus injury, and so he may be having the same kind of problems as Bishop had. Bishop was 2 seasons trying to come back and couldn't. So I think that's what we saw in Price's press conference, that he isn't sure at this point yet. And then after doing that, he wasn't able to even keep skating. So, yep. I think there's something to that. Oh, that jumped. Oh, no, not bad. Didn't jump at all. Oh, he's going to be 33 next year. That's a difference. 33, yeah, it's not old, but kind of. But if you get rid of Petrie and you get rid of some of these guys, right, and you got no experience on the back end and you're looking for an experienced guy, maybe you bring him in. There's a lot of things, right, in a rebuild where they're not doing great. PK Subban actually is a fan favorite. You can see how that could bring fans to the stand. There might be a reason there at the right AAV. Like I said, I don't think I'm going over 2 million for a couple of seasons. That's it. That's for me. And then if he plays really good, hey, so you re-sign him. I really like Lehkonen on Habs. Good PK, and we may not get the same quality in a pick for him. It depends, Lehkonen, unfortunately, and I'll say this because I said Lehkonen is the kind of guy you need a guy like, or guys like Lehkonen to win, right? Yes. We're not going to win right now. So can you replace a Lehkonen over the years, yeah, you got a couple of guys in the pipeline already that can. So Lehkonen becomes expendable, especially if teams are willing to pay really good for him. So yeah, believe me, I don't like losing a guy like Lehkonen if that's what happens, but I don't see how you avoid it. Kind of. Hey Randy, how's it going? Vinny never wanted to play here as a free. The first thing I thought of was exactly that, but apparently he okayed a trade here, but Tampa wanted Price, PK, and somebody else, and this was in 2008. But I remember that he didn't want to sign here. So yeah, Vinny's never been my guy because of that. Why, Bill? Let me just turn this off for a second. Why reward him? It's not to say that it's an old boys network. I don't think that's what it is. But they know each other. They know. I think that goes a long way. Vinny must know how to judge talent and stuff like that. He's probably going to advise them a lot from a player's standpoint and what they should be looking to do to change things around like they want to do. They want to change up this organization like all across the board and modernize it, right? So, but I don't disagree with you because the first thing I thought of when his name was mentioned was exactly that. Well, listen, I think if Galley and Anderson stay, I don't think that I think Edmondson might get an A. But you got Suzuki, Edmondson, Anderson, Galley. Price isn't going to get that. He's a goalie. So yeah, I don't know that. I think Edmondson would be good captain material, but I think Edmondson's the guy you keep, and you have that experienced guy. That's Edmondson. I don't think you need Subban because you're going to have a guy like Edmondson. I don't know that you can trade him till he comes back to play as well with his back. He's got term left. I don't know that you can trade him at the deadline. So I don't know. We'll see how it works out. It's just, it's a lot of speculation at this point. So, which is okay. Speculation is fun. Thrill House. Yeah, that's the danger of getting a name on the back, right? So, you know what? Listen, I've got 2 jerseys. They're old. I have no problem to wear them somewhere because of the name on the back. What's the difference? So don't worry. The only problem is if you want to be updated, you got to buy new jerseys with new names, or you get somebody to take the name off and put a new name on the back. Oh, but you got the number, so yeah. That's why a lot of people say just buy a blank jersey with the logo. That's it. Then you don't have to worry about whose name and number you got. But listen, I'd be very proud to wear a Lecky jersey, even if he's traded. No problem. So send it my way. I'm good with it. Hey, welcome back, Phil. What did you miss? Oh, wait. I'm not Robin Williams. I can do it, go backward, and you know what I mean? I can't do that. You missed a lot. We've been at it. It's like 45 minutes almost. Don't worry. Just ask whatever you want to know. And if we talked about it, I'll go over it quick with you, whatever I can. But just jump right in. Bob, I would agree. He's probably going to look for 3.5 to 5 if he could get it. I doubt he could, but you're right. I mean, I wouldn't pay him that at all. But I would agree somewhere around 4 he's probably looking for. Ken Chappell, but geez, I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, buddy. Do they if a coach is fired, so do they still need permission? I didn't know that. That's something I didn't know. And so then it does make me wonder if they need permission, would it be because they want to make sure that the other team pays and they're going to get off the hook? From what I understand, even if they get hired, they're still getting paid by the old team. From what I understand. but I could be wrong. I'm one that admits when I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to be right about everything. I mean, there are just, out of like 100 things I might say, I'll probably be wrong about one thing. Do you know, though, if that's the case, that if they do get hired after getting permission, does the other team off the hook? I don't think they are. They just need permission. It's kind of like, yeah, I get it. They're still under contract to the team, so. They say about the jerseys, right? As soon as you get one with a guy's name, they're going to get traded. If that were true, there would just be constant movement. Phil, I was saying that about Subban, that not the rest of it, but I mean, he'll sell tickets. Is he still fast enough? I don't know. Does he fit the team mentality still? This I don't know, but I think he was a fan favorite when he was here. Why wouldn't he be if he came back? So I could see that if they can work out the money. But I wouldn't go. I honestly, I don't think I would go 2.5 for 3. 2.5, maybe if you have 2 times 2 for me. Maybe I could be coaxed to 2.5 times 2. What do you think about going for Ilya Samsonov free agency this offseason? Is he a free agent? I don't know that he is. There's that rumor that Montreal is after Samsonov. I don't know. I read something a little bit about it. I don't think Capitals are just going to let him go. And I think he's still in their plans. I'm like, I don't know. Is he good enough? Maybe in the early years of the rebuild, yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if there's much to that. I was reading a little bit about it today, though. Didn't say that much. Don't think we will sign too many guys in the offseason? You mean as UFAs? No, I doubt we'll sign probably nobody as a UFA unless, they need to fill in something here or there. They might, but nothing major. If you're expecting like a big name signing, no. I would be surprised and shocked almost if they did something like that. Thrill House, it might happen. You might be right, but so that's fine. Then sign the shorter contract, and if that's the case, then they can re-sign him for another couple of years at better money. I mean, I don't know. Hockey DB shows PK as being 32, so he'll be 33 next season. Oh, that jumped. Whoa, did that ever jump? Wow. There must be like 20 comments just came in all at once. Wow, wait a second. I'm still going back looking to where I was. There I was. I'll try to get through them, man. Is price too old? No. It's not for me. Nope. The price has to be right. Come on down to the Price is Right. I don't like Nick Caprios anyway. I know he's got something out there. I didn't watch it. So most of this is between you guys. That's fine. Thrill House, I don't know. I'm on the fence with that, but you're probably right. So that's probably, they keep a guy like Galley, make him captain 2-3 years, and then by that time they'll probably want to move him or buy him out, and then you make Suzuki captain. That makes sense to me if that's the plan. Media might eat him alive, but I think Suzuki's okay. I think Suzuki might be stronger mentally than you might think. Randy, yeah, I mean, I don't know what Vinny's been doing, but I mean, he's going to have I don't think a super major role. It's as an advisor. I know he's working with watching video and advising things. So like that, I think he's going to give just a different point of view to them. I have a feeling he might do some scouting in the States. He's going to work with the players a little bit, he said, open some lines of communication with them. And that's all I know. I know he had a press conference. I didn't see the video, so I didn't want to watch 45 minutes in mostly French. Hey, Ghislain, it has been a while, man. I hope everything's good. Hope everything's good for you. For me, I'm good. But it's been a while, so I hope it's because just because things happen, and not for bad things. Hockey fan guy for Joel, you mean Edmondson? He's skating now, so there's enough time for him to get into some games near the end of the season if he comes back. But it's a possibility. You could be right. He's only skating by himself, so he's not practicing yet. I am really far behind in the chat, but I'm catching up now. Yeah, good question, Renault. I don't know. These young kids don't sign bridge deals that much, but I think if he wants to get the big money, he's got to. Right? I don't think they're going to sign him to 7 million like they did with Suzuki, right? So, I think that 3.5 million sounds about right. 2-3 years with Romy at 3.5, something like that, and then he'll get the big money after that. Well, Quinn, we went over this. You weren't here, but we went over this. I'll just bring this up. And Gordon actually talks about this, right? And what he did say, just I won't read all this, is he's not intending to strip the roster down to the screws. He's not going to get rid of everybody all at once. He wants to bring their value back up. Is basically what he said. Their value is low. And if you get rid of guys that are low value, you're not going to get good returns. So, yeah, that's going to happen kind of in a way. I think over the next 2 years, we're going to see this whole roster change over as they get, and there'll be a couple of guys still here of the older guys, most of the younger guys, maybe. Anyway, that's what I think is going to happen. So, no, they're not going to blow it all up. He said it. They're not doing that. So there you go. All right, let me see what else. These comments are still coming in big time. Sorry to hear about your dad there, Gislain. I know what that's like. My thought on Toffoli trade, I did a video on it. Yeah, I mean, it was going to happen. I think they got a good return. I think they got a return they're happy with. And I'm going to trust that they did their due diligence in researching the guy they got. And I'm okay with the draft picks and that. So, yeah, no, I'm not I'm bummed out to see Toffoli go, of course, but I mean, it's a business. There's a rebuild on. I think it sort of shows their intent. They're going to move guys. We're going to lose guys we like. That's a rebuild. You're going to lose guys you love, and that's a rebuild. And you get in 2-3 years, you'll have new guys you love. That's just how it is. Change is going to come. Price has too much going on now. Well, Price is injured, so I think his recovery is going slow, and it's a knee injury, meniscus. That could be it could be really, it could be the end. I wouldn't hesitate, Bob, to wear any one of those guys' jersey numbers with their name on the back. Wouldn't hesitate, because why? Because they're not, like, why not? I'd be proud to wear all those jerseys. Hey, even if I had a Dale Weiss jersey, I'd wear it. Let me read this again, Daryl. Rick, even if Price said he would use his no trade clause, who would take him without playing this year and can't see him play this year? And these are bad, and he'll be 39 by the time his contract is up. Will he be 39? 37 is what I thought. But maybe 38. No one's going to take him unless he plays. That's my opinion. You're not taking Carey Price unless you're sure he can play again. You're not making that kind of commitment. I mean, you'll get LTIR money back, but you got to give up something to get him, right? You're not going to give up a shitload to Montreal to get a player you're not sure can play that you really want to be able, right? You're not doing that. So yeah, he's not going anywhere, even if he wants to, until he can play. I don't think they have a choice. If he can't practice, he's not coming back. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Whoa. I'm just. Oh, I guess I got back to it. How much is Galley and Price staying with the team affect season ticket and lodge sales? I couldn't tell you. Probably not as much as all this COVID stuff and no fans in the stands does. But I'm sure it has something. They got the big contracts. Hockey fan guy. So yeah, if a coach gets fired, he gets paid, even if he signs another contract with another team. Hockey fan guy looked it up. Unless Suzuki has the mindset and demeanor of Steve Yzerman, it's too early. I think it's just the right time now for Galley to be top of the list. But Edmondson is your typical Habs captain package. Well, let's see. I mean, you know what? Here's what I think it might be saying. If they hang on to Galley and they name a new captain, he's still here next year. I don't see them not. I find it hard to believe they won't name him captain. So we'll see. Sean Renault, no. Sean Farrell is playing in college. Can't get games this year, and he's already said he's going back to college next season. So Sean Farrell cannot, no matter how much you may want him, play anywhere but the NCAA unless he totally. What do they do when they leave college? Well, unless he leaves college. Renault, I don't know that I agree with you on that. Might be right about Edmondson. I don't know that say never, but Galley, I don't know that Galley missed the boat. I think he's got to be in the running if they keep him. I mean, yeah. So I don't know about that. Edmondson reminds you of Josh Georges. He could have been captain as well. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Georges, yeah, I love Josh Georges. I don't know that I see that in Edmondson exactly, but we'll see. We'll see. It's nice to know that we've got guys here, like more than one guy that you can say, well, yeah, they should be captain. There's good choices. Renault, 3.5 for 2 years of your Romy. Well, I said 3, so yeah, we're on the same track there. See, the thing is though, the 2 years or 3 years doesn't take him out of the RFA, so it'll still be an RFA after a 2 or 3 year deal. So, yeah, I know. Riche. How did we get it to Stefan Riche? I was reading an article today. Oh, there it is. That's why I prefer 33 Roy and especially number 44 Riche. For what though? What is the Thrill House to? Well, I don't know. Maybe he's throwing. I don't know. Riche. I was reading something about Riche. It's kind of. I think it's kind of why I did the video I did today, and based it mostly on Caulfield. It was an interesting article on Riche. Thrill House. Oh, for me, if I had that, I would either get Caulfield or Suzuki. So if you want to make sure that your guy's going to stay here, I think if you want to really be sure, I think Suzuki's. I mean, he's already signed for a long term. He's staying here, so yeah, get a number 14 Suzuki on it, and you'll be good. I think for a while. Uh Geez. Oh, there I am. Back to where I was. Sorry. Joe Burrow folded his knee in half last season and played in the Super Bowl. I think Price should come back. Good. You go tell Price that. What does Joe Burrow folding his knee in half last season have to do with Carey Price? That's what I'd like to know. It's not the same person. It's probably not the same injury. Riche should get his sweater retired. Yeah, I don't know about that. You might want to honor him, but I don't know about retiring his sweater. Eric, but Price has to agree to move. Renault, you may even be right on that with Price's contract, but he has a no movement clause, so there's diddly squat you can do about it unless he agrees. So that's like complaining about it. I don't know what it's going to do you. You pick Riche over Koivu? No. The other two I can see. Over Koivu, I wouldn't. Hockey fan guy, I could see Price getting his sweater retired, but I hope they do like I said, an honoring, so we don't go through all the players' numbers or the sweater numbers. Yeah, Renault, in a shitty season like this, I'm not going to hold him to that. But I mean, I'm not saying you're 100% wrong, but that's really kind of, like, what have you done for me lately kind of thing. And that's pretty shitty to say that. Yeah, babe, a good point, right? Toronto, 4 players, and you got half the salary cap just that right there. Riche did 50 goals twice, and he won the cup once. Talking about old Habs on the sweater? Oh, I'd put number 10, Guy Lafleur. And if not, that's not your guy, number 19, Larry Robinson. Oh, it's mid 90s, mid 90s, mid 90s, mid 90s. Well, geez, yeah, go with the number 11, Koivu. Koivu was there in 95, right? So, yeah, so I go Koivu. Roberge, unless you really like Roberge, I don't know that I'd do that. But hey, if you really liked him. Game tomorrow, Eric, is at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would retire number 11 for Koivu over number 44 for Riche. Now, I would honor them both. Bob, yeah, you're right. I heard somebody sent me a comment yesterday or the day before saying that he's a junkie and he's abusing pills and he's horrible. It's like I think I told him to shut up. That it's all or I just banned him or might have just removed the comment. But calling Carey Price a junkie, it's like, really, you're overblowing it a bit, buddy. Koivu, yes. Bacanic and Markov jersey be retired. I can see Koivu. I don't know about either of those two. No, not retired. Again, Lucas, I mean, even with a cup, I think you honor the jersey now. Too many jerseys been retired. They need to keep the numbers. Which team is a good match? And by the way, hi Ronnie. Um, to set for match for Montreal to send Jonathan Drouin to. Thanks. Any team that's not named the Montreal Canadiens. That to me is a good match. Honestly though, I don't know. Colorado, Winnipeg, because there's connections there for him with players and stuff. So maybe those two. But I mean, I just kind of want to see him go somewhere else where he's got no pressure to play, and maybe he'll be able to play. Getting Rasico on the jersey. All right. What's wrong with Rasico? Come on. Good question, Renault, on that one. What kind of deal would I offer Monty? If they're going to make him the backup, I'd say probably something like Jake Evans's deal, 2 years, 1.75, something like that. Something like that. 1.5, something like that. Short term, 2-3 years, and go from there. Would I take a second round pick for Drouin? Well, I mean, like if you don't have to, if it gets you from retaining any salary on him, you might. I mean, you might. I think it's a little low though. So I don't know. Remember, Drouin, if he'll play 82 games, he'll still put up 50, 55 points. He does produce points, so it's not like you can't get something back from him. No, second is not too much for Drew. You guys are not being realistic. Group question: will the Habs be the first team in pro sports to use a 3-digit number on a Habs sweater? I say no, but that's because they're going to start. Teams are going to have to start. Well, mostly Montreal, to honor the sweater, the player, the name on the back of the sweater in honor, not retired, and that'll solve the problem, right? Because then you won't lose any more numbers. The only time you can retire it is if it's already been retired. Sometimes we have that, right? So you can, give them a special night and retire it along with the other one. Usually, I think now they do the both players at the same time, but it happens. Crystal ball, is that where I thought? Like, how do you get that crystal ball up your ass? Because I thought he pulls this shit out of his ass. Thrill House. I mean, that's what I think he does. Although every now and then Renault comes up with something I agree with. So I guess it's like throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks. He throws 100 things against the wall. A couple things stick with me. But it's okay. He's a regular and he doesn't get mean. So you know what? I'm okay with that. He doesn't get mean. He doesn't put anybody down. He's a little off the wall with his things, and that's okay. Hey, I'm like, am I normal? I don't think I am. So hey, Renault, that's something that I think I'm going to agree with you on. He says 3 years is the max years I'm comfortable signing. He says 95% of players. I don't know if I'll go that extreme, but not that far. I think, what, 3 years is enough in general. Some guys, yeah, it's good. I don't know about the 8 years, even though Suzuki signed 8 years, like 5. I think there's no need to go much more than that. Until players start playing up to their potential through every year of those new contracts. Otherwise, keep them low so that they'll have to play better all the time. Hockey fan guy, yeah. I mean, it's a joke you're saying because it is. I mean, I don't know if it's that's being. I think it's just being mean for nothing, but it's okay. Renault, yeah. So we're kind of in agreement there. So one of the odd things we agree on. Well, Thrill House not only stay the duration, but like stay at that competitive level also through that whole long term. That's why long term deals, man, you save them for strictly for certain people only, certain types of players. Yeah, Renault. I guess hey, tonight's a night where we're agreeing a lot. I got nothing against the guy personally, obviously. Like I got nothing. I'm not going to put him down for what he went through last year or anything like that. It's not a personal thing, but on the ice, even though he produces, and he does, and I'm not going to say he's no good, but I don't know. It just, it's time for him to go somewhere else, personally, I think. But that's just me. And I don't know the guy, and I'm not his teammate, so I could be totally off base, but that's how I see it. What's Koivu doing these days? I don't really know. His name was mentioned in some of this stuff, like the hiring and stuff that recently. I saw his name mentioned, but I mean, I don't know what he's doing. The good thing about longer term contracts, if front end loaded, those contracts look very appealing in the last couple of years when talking about trades. Yeah, no, listen, I get that, but listen, in a salary cap world, especially now that the cap is still on the low side right now, right? Hasn't gone up in a few years. Um, those long-term deals, man, they can really hurt you because it's harder to manage your cap when you got guys that you're probably paying them for 2-3 years too long. At good money. I like the 3 to 5 years because you know what? If a guy's play goes up or down, well, you can adjust if you resign him. You can adjust the offer up or down. You know, Chris, I'm going to agree with that first part that I've read. I have full faith in the new management moving forward. They've given us no reason not to. And until they do, I'm not going to start second guessing and making controversies where there's nothing. I think, Chris, for me, they all have. Um, Yeah, I think all of them have impressed me so far. Renault, but in this case, I think Jeff Molson brought this on himself to make all these changes. I don't think he's worried about what it's going to cost him to make this. He wants to be known once again as the finest run team in the league, and he knows he has to modernize. To do that, it's going to cost them money, and I think he's ready to spend it. Bob, yeah, not only DiPietro wasn't. Let me see now. Wasn't Weber's contract 12 or 14 years? Um, Koval, Covey last year, the guy we had there, can't remember his name, his full name, Kovalchuk. He had 17 years with the Devils. Um, Parise and Ryan Suter, didn't they also sign super long term deals? And then they stopped allowing those lengths, and they brought it down to 8 years if he's already signed by your team, and 7 if you're signing a free agent. And even that to me is long, but it was a lot better than what they were allowing. But DiPietro, if I'm correct, DiPietro's being paid still this year, and maybe this might be the last one, or next one is the last. He's still being paid, and that's ridiculous. Or was I? It doesn't feels like the Bergevin era is still happening. No, not at all. Totally different. Totally different for me. Eric, it doesn't necessarily go to the Preds if he retires, but the Preds will be in touch with Montreal at that point to see what's going on. And if Weber wants to retire, they're probably going to say, listen, can we get that contract and give us something for it? And they'll put him on the LTIR. And yeah, that's usually what that happens. So Preds don't want Weber to retire early. It hurts the cap recapture on the early retirement thing. That's not good. Or no, I don't know Vasilevsky's contract. And Carey Price is 4 years into the contract. To really be complaining about it like this, still, what's the value? You can't change it. What's the value? It's in the past. I'd rather look forward than worrying about that. Chris, who would have thought, eh? Marty St. Louis, coach of the Habs. Renault, but it's not about what his actual salary is. It's about a cap hit, right? Cap hit is 7.857. I think it's 7.575, but it's somewhere around there. DiPietro's contract was 15 years. That's crazy, 15 years. The money's low for today, but still. The Cavalier, is he still getting paid for being a player? I find that hard to believe. Was he overrated most seasons? No, only at the end of his career. He was a good player and he was a point producer. I don't know that he was overrated then, but at the end of his career, the last few number of seasons, yeah, I would agree. DiPietro's still getting paid till 28, 29. Really? I thought it was only a couple more. Kovalchuk was 17 years, I think. I want to say 17 years. That's what I thought. But I mean, I've been known to be wrong. So if Vinny is talking to Scotty Bowman at the Tampa games, then he should be hired. Vinny doesn't work for Tampa, so what's the difference? Why would Scotty Bowman be at the Tampa games? Owners only care about the bottom line, and cap hit is a secondary. Okay, now I know you've banged your head very seriously. Don't go to sleep. You need to stay up for a while because you banged your head very seriously, Renault. Cap hit is like, you got to manage the cap, dude. What are you talking about? Secondary. My God. I think you just like to see if I get upset about anything you say. Shea Weber was 14 years, eh? 7.857, which is what they gave Suzuki. The Cavaliers still getting paid till 26, 27. See, that's just crazy. Is that did they buy him out? They might have bought him out. That's why. Bob, I was a bad imitation of Fonzie. Hey. Yeah, I've been known to be wrong sometimes. I have no problem with that. I ain't perfect. My ex-wife will tell you. How are we doing in time now? Oh, we're getting close to 90. Yeah, I would think DiPietro could afford drinks too. That's crazy. I would have thought that contract is over by now. I lose track of time. I was seeing something about 2008 with the game where Montreal was down 5-0 to the Rangers and they came back and won. I thought that was a lot farther back than that. Don't ask me why. 2008 just doesn't make sense to me. But hey, the simulation isn't replaying in my head properly. Oh, you're talking about Stan Bowman. Yeah, Stan Bowman's not in hockey right now. Was it only 2013 when he last played? That's crazy. I thought it was longer. I'm telling you, I thought it was farther back than this. Yeah, Thrill House. That was amazing. I was sure I was working at the pizza place, but not in 2008. So I don't know where I was. But yeah, I remember that game. And the T-shirts everybody had. No, it was 2008. So not 2014. Oh boy. So did we talk about the rebuild at all? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We talked about whatever we talked about. Anything else I can tell you? And listen, if you haven't checked it out, I've got a video where I talk about Cole Caulfield, my thoughts on whether he's arrived or not. You can let me know if you watch it. Let me know in the comment section what you think. And yeah, a bunch of news from the last couple of days, and that interesting stuff with Gorton and and the list they keep in the move lists, which I found very interesting, and a couple other things. Hopefully you guys check it out. It's not even super long. I mean, it's 15 minutes, but I mean, for me, 15 minutes, that's not really a super long video. Oh, Thrill House. Now you're going back far. Paul DiPietro. That's 86. No, 90. Wait a second. No, that's the 90s. 93. That's the 93 Stanley Cup. Paul DiPietro and Gilbert Dion. Those two look like that. Wow, that's going to be a great combo for years to come. Not. Bowman watches Tampa games, and so does Vinny. Awesome. You're in touch with both of them? Thrill, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I just think because Gordon's worked with him before, I don't know. That's been brought up. He had a couple of other players, nothing major like Krejci though. But yeah, I mean, I really couldn't tell you. I agree that Saka Koivu would be a much better option if he's doing that. I know he did that for a little while with Montreal, but I don't know. I don't know much about Bob Rob at all. Hockey fan guy, we don't need a list of everybody who's being paid for long term. It's okay. Hockey fan guy, Trevor Timmons. I mean, Bob Rob is going to be doing the European scouting. For North America, it's going to be Martin Lapointe. They're going to be co-directors of amateur scouting. So one for Europe, one for North America. Thrill House, yeah. I mean, maybe it doesn't work out and they change him. I mean, but they must see something. I don't know the guy, so I'm not going to really judge. Bob, what do you mean Mayu is still suspended? I don't think so. He's still playing. I don't know 100%, but why would he be still suspended but played? So unless he did something new that I did not hear about, I have no idea what you're talking about, to be very honest. Because I heard nothing about that he did anything since he started playing in the OHL. I heard nothing. Except that he was getting points. But I haven't seen much written up about him in a little while. So maybe something happened. I don't know. Island number 3, Zarly Zalapski. I remember he was here very briefly. Love the name, Zarly Zalapski. I remember him. No, Bob, that he was, but he was his suspension was either lifted. Yeah, it was lifted. So no, he must be injured. So Eric says he had an injury. It must be that. Hockey fan guy Gordon, yeah, they're going to modernize. You're talking about Willette, the defenseman in the cat. No, he's 30. He's not. He doesn't have a future here. No. Yeah, it's right. Zalapski did pass away, so yeah, rest in peace, Zardy Zalapski. Eric says Mayu had an ankle sprain or something. He's injured, so it's not a suspension. He's injured. I mean, why would they resuspend him on something that it doesn't make sense? I didn't know he was injured, but that makes a lot more sense to me. All right, I'm going to go in about 5 minutes because my voice is starting to go. Man, did we ever get hit with a shitload of freaking snow this last couple of days? Willette is definitely AHL player. He's 30. He's not making the Habs. Not in a rebuild. I just don't see it. Listen, if they're gonna play, Sherratt tomorrow, they could have probably brought up Willette, but I mean, not really worth even that. Or no, but he's 30. He's their captain. He is he should be doing well down there, but he's played here many times. He's not, he's not going forward that far with Montreal. You sure? I thought he was 30. Anyways, he's 26, whatever. I still don't think there's a big future here for him. Thrill House. Do I think an assistant coach? No, I don't think so. Maybe in the off season they change coaching staff. I don't think the rest of the season they change any of the coaches. Perhaps female, perhaps. I couldn't tell you that, but I don't think they change coaches before the season's done. No. Hockey fan guy, that's fine. I'll believe you. I said I've been known to be wrong at times. I thought he was 30 though. I really did. Shanneman has made the team better than Sherratt, but Shanneman just went on the COVID list. He's gone for 10 days or more. So, yeah, it doesn't. But I like so far what I've seen from Shanneman, though. I'll give you that. But to say he's better than Sherratt, no. Sherratt's got a bit of a bad rap. I mean, a bit. He gets too many penalties, yes, but he plays those kind of minutes and stuff. So I don't know. They did well with him in the playoffs last year. He played well. He played big minutes. So I don't know. I'm not going to knock him. I hope somebody picks him up and gives us a lot for him. Well, Thrill House, Marty played with Luke Richardson. They know each other well. I could see Luke Richardson surviving. The other guys, I don't know. I mean, I could see them making changes in the offseason, but I believe that they'll stay for the rest of the season. It's only another 30-odd games. Montreal's not making the playoffs. Team's playing well, so the coaches are turned around. And I think, I think that's how it'll go. All right. So my voice is going, and I'm over 90 minutes. I'm going to take off here. I'll answer this last one here. Well, Bob, I know he was suspended by the OHL, but he was reinstated and he's been playing, and I doubt they would resuspend him on the same thing when they reinstated him. But yeah, he's injured apparently. And serious, that I didn't know. So he's got a serious injury. Thanks, Eric. You too. Have a great night. Thanks for being here. How much should NHL? $10 because I'd buy a lot of them if they were $10 for no. Have a good one, Thrill House. Thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate it. You too, hockey fan guy. Appreciate it. Hey, Thrill House, you're cheaper than me. I said $10. All right, so I'm going to take off here. I will be here tomorrow in the afternoon for the game. So remember, the game. Have a good night, Bob. The game is at 2. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. The game's at 2 p.m. I'll be here at 1 for the pregame show, so don't forget. And so I'll see you then. Thanks for being here, everybody. Stay safe till then. Peace out, y'all. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Have a great rest of the night. There's still plenty of night left, and it's Saturday night. So have a great one. Bye, everybody. When I find my cursor, there it is. Ciao.